It is vaunted as a loaf how lasts much longer, is facilitating to overview, and has a distinctive spicy flavor. But seemingly leaven can differ extremely depending on wherever you buy it. But how can you speak a leaven of a as called Sourfaux, and does it though question? Conventional leaven is deliberate to be one of the senior forms of loaf, and the method can be tracked behind to Old Egypt. It is done of fair three-product composition, meal, water supply, and season with salt. The pastry begins in a starter motor civilization, as well done in meal and water supply, that is leftward to bladder up for several days. It is that makes the loaf growth, instead of addition leaven. He's loaf in its especially pure shape, says Anna Herbert, of Household Industry Hobbs Building Bakehouse, in Pounding Sodbury, Gloucestershire. A real leaven should not include leaven in it, since the starter motor leaven himself rises he. And it is fashionable too much, in more than rather than Instagram posts labeled in number leaven. End of Instagram position by this _bread_babe. But that Ammunition Depot says it looked at 19 leaven loaves sold out in supermarkets and found just 4 persons were done in the conventional way in the 3 main product composition. The other concluded additional product composition, such as leaven, ascorbic acidity, and yogurt and acetum. These are not definitely bad for you or morbid. Chris Youthful of the Actual Loaf Campaigning says customers are creature misguided. If you are said you are purchase thing, you should get which you pay to. Especially while several of the supermarkets are charge a price for how food, he told. The Actual Loaf campaigning team says it wants to see a legislative determination of the regulation leaven or craftsman loaf, so store cannot misinterpret them. It says the natural occurring leaven in leaven is less than concentration rather than in business Peckar's leaven, and so may be superior for human beings who respond ill to undue leaven in loaf. The campaigning as well quoted several teachings show how the glycemic code of leaven is reduced rather than some breads, importance it does not reason spikes in bloodstream blood sugar. Vanessa Kimball, a leaven specialist specializing in the digestive and food of loaf, says counterfeit leaven is really hard in regulation of grumpy intestine symptom and diabetic. He's completely outrageous, she told. Lot diabetics are consuming leaven to monitoring bloodstream blood sugar levels. Consuming counterfeit leaven can peak blood sugar levels. End of Instagram position by Vanessa Kimball. Ms. Kimball adds, I trust manufacturers include a liability to determine if the leaven refers to the trial or if he's the taste. Speak human beings if he's the taste. It is precise how superstore loaves in the leaven taste are extremely famous, in spite deviant of the conventional prescription. But if you do wish yours leaven bread to be authoritative, the Actual Loaf campaigning has a precise communication, ever recite the sticker or ask who to store.